Hello and welcome to the Crafty Little Rat podcast. My name is Hannah. I am Crafty Little Rat on Ravelry and Instagram. See by the shiny thing down below. I know, how snazzy is that? I am trying out a new webcam software, so hopefully I'll be able to just upload this straight away and then maybe shrink it down first, because I know I had problems last time. Welcome back to anybody who has not completely given up on me and is a returning viewer. This is episode 4, and hello to anybody who is trying me out for the first time. I hope you stick around and watch the whole thing. Bonus points to you if you do. Still very early on in this webcamming thing, vlogging thing. I apologise as well because it's such a dull grey day over here today that my webcam appears to be sort of struggling to find a decent light quality. It isn't meant to be a HD webcam. No idea, It's hard. I've got a good quality camera, but I can't record. I can record, but I can't record and see myself like I can with the inbuilt webcam from the phone. So, yeah. Anyway, what's been going on? Not a lot. We've had a health and wellbeing event at work where they had people in from, Slimming World came in, and Crohn's UK came in, and a lady talking about diabetes. There was a lady there with a dog's therapy. And they said to me, well, after I said I used to teach knitting and crochet, they said to me, do you want a stall? And I said, well, yeah, are you going to pay me to talk about knitting for 4 hours? Of course I will come in. So I took some knitting in, I took some crochet in, I took a spinning wheel in. My boss has actually been on at me for a while to do some crochet lessons with her. So that's great, and we're going to do that in this lunch hour craft club that we've sort of set up. So me, that I've sort of set up. So I'm really looking forward to that, actually. We're going to meet on a Wednesday. We got 20 names down, and then there's me, so there's 21. So I understand not everybody will show up every week, but it should be good. We had, a couple of people there who want to come along and sort of just sit and knit or sit and crochet, but we had quite a bit of interest in learning as well, so that'll be down to me, I think. But, yeah, so that's good. Yeah, anyway, I apologise if I sort of knock you, because this, those banners things, I have to touch the keyboard to activate them. The lower third, it's called. So I haven't figured out a way to do that yet without touching the keyboard. I don't think there is a way, but yeah. So anyway, knitting show. But yeah, no, everything else around here is fine. The hamster is good. Reese is good. He's been playing rugby today, which is why I'm recording today. I've been struggling with the light. I'm struggling today, but I've been struggling with it at night when I've tried to record, so it's going to maybe sort of move to a Saturdays in the winter, sort of keep the light, while I have at least a modicum of decent light. So, yeah. Anyway, so we'll go on to our first segment, which is called You're Still Working on That, which is works in progress. So, I am still working on one thing. I'm working on one thing and one thing alone at the moment. So I wonder if there's a way I can actually time them so they disappear without me having to manually press the thing. Anyway, questions I maybe should have looked up before I started recording. What I'm currently working on is the icon dress by Carrie Helene Rain, and that's a pearl alpaca design. So I picked up a pattern at Wonderwall where they had these on display, and they were glorious. So this is the icon dress. See, it's picot hem at the bottom. I knit mine and then sewed it down. And then it's cables with moss stitch panels in between them. And then as you come up, it decreases, and then it goes into a reverse stocking stitch panel. There is this bit here is a sort of a mock button band. So you're going to have sort of, I think it's 6 tiny buttons to sort of go on here before it comes up. I've got a few rows to go before it comes up to the neckline, and then I'll work the straps. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. When I last showed you it, I hadn't quite finished doing the decreases. So it looks like I haven't done a lot. It's Lincoln Longwool, 100% Breed Pacific Lincoln Longwool from the Riseby flock. Came in cones, is a 500-gram cone. So it looks like I haven't done a lot. Apart from, this is, let me show you this. That is the front. This is the back. Yeah, I knit. I showed you when I finished my last episode, I was somewhere about here, and then I knitted the entire back. It's on a stitch holder up at the top. Well, it's on a cable up at the top. I knitted the entire back and up to there on the front since I last spoke to you. Majorly helped by having a cold, I must say. I had a cold and I was sick from work on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because I just couldn't breathe. And I felt awful. But this I could do. 8-row repeats I could do. So, so I knitted a lot while I was poorly. And sometimes because sitting up was all I could do, I couldn't lie down because I couldn't breathe if I lay down. And that's not fun, is it? But I got a lot of knitting done. So, I think I must have knitted 500 grams in a week, which is a heck of a lot for me. But, so I'm sort of, I've got another, have a look, this isn't the right piece of paper, this is my old piece of paper. The piece of paper for the front I've just sent flying across the room, but never mind. But I think I've got another 30 odd rows or something. I don't know. I'm somewhere sort of here. I think I've got to here, then you bind off for the chest, and then you do the straps, which they work identically. So I'm thinking I might work them both at the same time with 2 different balls of wool. It depends whether I finish the cone by then. I don't know. I might wind a skein and work a skein and a cone at the same time, or if I'm working from a ball at that time, because I finish the cone, I'll just do the inside and the outside of the skein. And just basic angling for whatever 30 odd rows it is, but then at least you know they're going to be the same length. Not that they won't be the same length, because if you count your rows, they should be identical, but we shall see. But anyway, that's that. It's not horrendously soft. It is a little bit prickly. I'm not particularly wool sensitive, I've got to admit, but I'm thinking it will go for a bath in some conditioner. I'm going to block it before I wash it. I'm going to be a good girl. I don't know whether it will need an aggressive blocking or whether it will just need sort of smushing into shape. The reason it will need blocking is because of the edges and because of the curling of the edges. Now with the front, I made sure to keep my edge stitch in stockingette. So every first stitch and every last stitch on a right side row is a knit, and on a wrong side row is a purl. I know I didn't do that. I stopped doing that sort of halfway through this, and I have no idea why. Because I thought, well, how much difference can it make? And when you come to seaming, apparently it can make a lot. But it's mattress stitch. It'll be fine. I will make it work. I'm not looking forward to sewing it together. As I said, this is DK, but when I tacked down those hems, because I did the hem, I did the picot hem, I knitted it, and then I sewed it with the whip stitch towards the end. I used the lace weight of the Lincoln long wool yarn, and I'm thinking that to keep the sort of bulkiness of the seams thin, I will use this again to sew the sides up. So I'm hoping that maybe by the end of next week, by the next time I speak to you, it should be blocking. And then after blocking, I've got to seam it, and then I have to, there is a sort of a rib, small rib on the shoulders and a small rib around the neckline, so I've got to do that as well. So yeah, as I said, that is the only thing that I'm still working on. I've got a couple of works in progress that I want to start. It's the 1st of October, so I need to pick, it's not the 1st of October, it's the start of October, so I need to pick some new socks to make. I haven't done that yet. I'm waiting on some new needles to arrive from Durables. They're on back order. Sort of newish double points. They're sort of a bit of a funky design, so looking forward to that. And then I've got the Christmas tree skirt, it's still ongoing. I did September's portion, I've got to do October's. I will probably do that tomorrow and get it out of the way with. But it looks the same. I mean, I'll show you some finished pictures when I'm done with finished pictures, when I'm done in November. there are pictures on my Ravelry page anyway, but it's not particularly interesting, and it's big. It's big and bulky to show you on here. I have been doing some designing for a shawl for Reese's sister. I was going to print off things and show you, but it turns out that the printer is out of black ink, or making really sort of fuzzy black things, so I can't print them off. I was going to show you them on the not the iPad, on the tablet. They're all more or less the same, aren't they? It's an Android one, but then I found it, but the charger is dead. So, but it has no charge in it, and I'm not sure where the charger is. It's not a standard USB charger; it's a weird big one. So yeah, all of the fun. But yeah, that's all I'm working on right now. I should have more to show you next time. So moving along, FO Frenzy. I actually have 2 finished things to show you, and a sort of a DIY thing as well. I'm having some Pepsi Max cherry. It's quite nice actually. A Saturday treat. I have a gin and tonic for later that I dare say I will be needing, because this is possibly the 4th time I have recorded this podcast. Due to various problems, and due to like Reese rang me. I'd started it on here, and then Reese rang me, and I was like, I was recording. I was like, oh, I was just telling you I'm coming over. I was like, make sure you take your time. So the first thing I finished is, yeah, I don't think this is ever going to be a polished professional podcast. The first thing I finished is a blanket square. It has a guitar. Well, sort of a guitar. I missed out a row of colour work, but just on the top bit there. But it's fine. I used the pattern from Harrison, which was a knitty pattern for the colour work. Harrison has it's a hat, and it's got guitar motifs running all the way around. Because it's stranded, you've got sort of I don't know whether it is stranded or whether it's intarsia. I never actually looked, but you've got guitars sort of either side of this guitar. But I didn't want that, so I just used the one. This is the 3rd iteration of this square, because I knitted one corner to corner, and then thought, how am I going to put the colour work on it? Not a good moment. I then knitted one, properly, but plain, and thought I will do duplicate stitch, and then realised how much I hated duplicate stitch, and I started it down here, whereas I needed to start it up there. And then I finally thought, I will do it intarsia. I hate duplicate stitch, I hate intarsia slightly less. Still quite a bit. So that's the back of the work. It is intarsia. Apart from that the bit where the strings fit onto there, I did that stranded because it's only 3 stitches. I wasn't joining a new mini ball of yarn just for that. In some places, that one there though, the hole in the guitar, that is intarsia. So I had 1, 2, 3. Did I strand it across there? I stranded the red across. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 balls of yarn on the go at that time. I wasn't going to make it 5 and have a red the other side. So I had 4 balls of yarn on the go at once in that square. But this is for Tom at work. His friends have a little boy, and she's making a blanket full of squares that people have knitted for. So Tom asked me if I would knit him one with a guitar on it, because he plays guitar, and the little boy, every time he sees anybody on the telly playing a guitar, goes, Tom, Tom. So I thought, oh, that's so sweet. And so I said, yeah, no, I'll knit you a little square. That's not a problem. It's just acrylic, probably Starcraft. I think it was whatever I had to hand, and 4mm needles. So those first 2 squares, okay, while they weren't great, at least the first one gave me the tension, and I could go, yeah, okay, right, that's how big I need to do it. So, and then the second one gave me how many rows I needed, so I knew where to place it so that the motif is centralised. So, okay, they weren't the best, but I learned from them, and that's surely what it is. I mean, I knitted all 3 in a day, and that was with work as well, so it's not as if it was a huge sort of a problem, I suppose. They're probably, I haven't weighed it yet. I need to put it on my Ravelry page just to work out yardage, but it's will be going to Tom on Monday, so I'm glad I get to show it to you guys on the vlog today, on the Saturday. I just give it a quick blast of steam with the iron, just to sort of settle the colour work down a little bit. My favourite method of blocking colour work, just blast it with the steam from an iron, and then it majoritively evens everything out. That's your pro tip for the day. So my second finished was September socks. As you may or may not know, I try and knit a pair of socks a month. This is Pavonia by Hunter Hammerson. It is a sort of a feather and fan. And my webcam hates these colours. They are too bright for my webcam because they are incredibly bright. The yarn is Regia Floramania, and these are on my DIY Coralboard sock blockers. I've made a marking on there for how long I need to make some other sock blockers, which I will tell you all about later, because these are very, very long, because they were designed for when I made some knee-high socks, which I wore once and then promptly lost. So I can find one of them. I have no idea where the other one is. So I'm a bit gutted about that. Wasn't great at keeping my socks corralled. I'm a bit better now. Anyway, so I ended up knitting these on 2mm needles because the pattern, the feather and fan pattern, requires a certain number of stitches. So I think it was 70, it was either 70, was it 74? I think it was 74. For me on 2.5, that would have been too many. For me on 2.25, that would probably have been about right, actually, judging by how tight these are. But I thought I didn't have any 2.25s. I still don't. See, I ordered a big lot of needles from Darren Moores. I could have ordered 2.25s, couldn't I? But no, they sent me a 10% off thing, so I might order some of that. Who knows? I did get 10% off because it was my first online order, or I told them it was my first online order. I'm sure I've ordered more, but excuse me, by signing up to a newsletter. But yeah, so they're a little bit tight. I started off the pattern and then completely promptly ignored it after I'd set up the feather and fan pattern. So the heel is a Fish Lips Kiss heel by Socks Therapist. It's a very common pattern. It is £1. So £1, $1, it's $1. I don't know what that converts to in pounds at the moment, but it is $1, so it's not expensive. I felt like it took me longer to do, but then I feel like the actual turn of the heel is the quick bit, the long bit is the gusset, which obviously you don't have to do on these. I haven't worn them yet because I want to set these with citric acid because the colour apparently runs and fades, so I haven't worn them yet to tell you how they feel. I'm not 100% convinced they're the best for top down, which appears to be how I'm knitting the majority of my socks at the moment. So I would like to try them on a pair of toe-up socks and see. I couldn't quite get because I understand that they need the thing for, you follow the worksheet and that brings you with where you start them. And I can understand that for toe-up, but for top down, they were like, oh, you need to start them at this point. And I'm like, well, surely if you just make it longer, then your leg's just going to be longer. I mean, these are a pretty standard sort of leg length for me. I bet I, sort of bore it in mind that I knew, and they told you to work an inch of pattern, of plain before you turn the heel. So I sort of bore that in mind, which is fine with how long I normally make the leg, which is normally until I'm bored. But yeah. The only other thing I have to say about these is that they hurt my fingers. 2mm needles, whether it was the fact that they were my 2mm Chigoos, which are incredibly sharp. But she said it's hard to show you because everything's sort of backwards. Yeah, everything is backwards. But you can't see. I sort of blistered my finger. I have a callus on my finger, obviously, from where I pushed the yarn back down. But the Chigoo needle sort of poked under that and created sort of like, not a blister because it was never sort of, fluidy filled. That's gross, sorry. But it's sort of, yeah. So underneath the new skin, underneath this sort of this patch, it's very sensitive. So yeah, it sort of hurt. So I've got a little stab indentation. But anyway, I won't be knitting two mils, not with those for a long time probably. And if I do, I might actually thimble my finger, bandage my finger, do something like that. It's just that the tension of them is sort of too tight. They are practically bulletproof socks. I mean, I'm no stranger to having, they're going to wear incredibly well, but look, they really keep their shape. But anyway, I like them, so I'm looking forward to setting them. I am going to, after I set them, I am going to wet block them, and I'm going to block them over these blockers. Sort of hopefully encourage them to sort of stretch slightly. So this brings me on to my third, which isn't an actual knitting FO, but it is knitting related. A lot of the time, I wear a lot of hand knit socks. I will wear them every day if I possibly can. I prefer them over commercial socks. Because I've knitted a pair a month for the last, 22 months now, I'm getting, a fair selection of ones for me, which is great because I can alternate them and make sure they don't all wear out, or I can be incredibly lazy. Sorry, I've got blue again. There we go. Or I can be incredibly lazy and not wash them for a while. But I only have the one set of sock blockers, which are my, which I've thrown on the floor. Which are my DIY sock blockers. And these are made using the Eskimimi sock blocker pattern online. And they're made from corroboard, which is a sort of stuff that estate agent sites are made out of. Sort of for sale on the rent sites. I bought a load when we had the first set of rats, when we had Tiffany and Romy, to make playpens out of for them, which they never used. And then the girlies were too fast and found ways out of them, and it became a bit of a mitigated disaster. But I threw a lot of it out, but I had a little bit, and I made some sock blockers out of it. But I only have the one set. I thought I threw all of my corroboard out, so I thought I couldn't make any more. I found some since then. But I thought, what else could I use? So I bought some of the kiddies' play mats, tumble mats, I think they're called. Ignore the lines on them. I thought I could get more pairs than I could have bought. So yeah, it's the foam. That's just a little bit from where, as I say, I tried to fit. I found I can fit 4 per board. So in a pack you get 4 boards, so I can get 8 Anna, mental math. I can get 8 pairs of sock blockers out of those 4 mats. They are a bit flexible, so I found that quite hard when I was trying to put the tightly knit ones onto them. Now, bearing in mind that the ones I've tried so far, because I only cut these out earlier today, have all been dry, and they are all, they've all been dry, and they're all sort of clean socks. So it's not anything that's sort of soaking wet, which might help actually for fitting them on. So that it's been a bit hard to fit some of them on because it's a bit wibbly wobbly. But I will show you some of the ones I've put on. This is the Regia Summer Stripes one. That went on really quite easily actually. Again, dry, blocked. This is the Coriolis Effect socks. These are some of the first ones I ever knit. They went on really well. And then these, which are Rachel Cooper's milfoil, I want to say, on my Ravelry page. And they went on again really nice. So, I have got 3 more boards, obviously, because this was 4. I've got 3 more boards, so I could potentially make, obviously, as I said, enough to block 8 pairs of socks with those, and then that makes 9 with the corroboard I've got, plus any more I make from the existing corroboard. But I'm going to keep with these 4 for now, and I'm going to wet block some socks a couple of pairs of times. So I bought the boards from Argos, which probably, I don't know whether you could maybe buy it cheaper online. I will show you them in All Shiny, but Argos currently have a deal on, and I just searched for the calculator. Argos currently have a deal on, and it makes them £7.50 a pack of 4. So £7.50, and then if I can get, there was scraps, and if anybody has feet that are a lot smaller than mine are a 6, 7, a UK 6, 7. Used to be a 7, and now I'm a 6. So losing weight apparently means you lose weight off your feet as well. But I can get 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh god, if I can get 8 pairs from these boards at £7.50, that makes them 93 pence per blocker. So that's a lot better because they're like £12, £14 a pair to buy them. 93p a pair. Something, that's reasonable. I can work with that. If not, and if I don't enjoy them anyway, I will use them. I use these boards as blocking mats. So if you're looking to buy some blocking mats, then do it. go to Argos. Go to Argos and get some. Because they're great. You can put pins in them and they just recover. And even if they don't, they're great. The moisture doesn't sort of stick on them or anything. So yeah. So I made and cut out 4 of these. I drew around my existing sock blockers with a Sharpie and then cut them out with a sort of a craft knife. I will probably make a new foot template tomorrow because that foot template I used is old, and although it works fine, as I say, my feet have slightly changed shape recently, so I need to redo it just to be on the safe side. I just had to wake you up then because it had gone to sleep. So that's my last FO frenzy, is the sock blockers, and I'm actually really happy with them. I can't wait to sort of try them out tomorrow when I do my weekly load of hand knit socks. So we are on to in a spinning stuff. I actually haven't done a lot of spinning this week. I was very conscious. I finished off my first thing, and then I was very conscious about taking the wheel to work. So I didn't want to use my nice things in case people wanted to have a go. That's awful, isn't it? But I didn't want to have my lovely sort of, yarn and then have great big thick clumps in. So I finished the first bobbin of the Hilltop Cloud, Jane Seymour, covering my face again. This is, I think it's merino. Could it be Shetland? There's milk protein in there. There's sparkle in there as well, I know for sure. It's very, very soft. It's very, very slippery. I'm using the second whirl on my wheel to make it sort of a reasonably thin spin, and I'm really enjoying it. I split my fibre in half before I started, so I should have 50 grams on this and 50 grams on the other one. And I'm going to apply them together into a 2-ply yarn. I'm hoping to have that finished before the next time I speak to you. That'd be great. Other spinny things I did this week was I washed the black-nosed valet last week when I was poorly. Further confirmed to me that I am not a raw fleece person. It washed up fairly white. I am not a raw fleece person. I don't particularly enjoy washing it. I don't particularly enjoy. I prepped some of it. Look. And I haven't particularly enjoyed doing that either. So I would much rather buy prepped top and do that. So, but there we go. That's me. So you don't have to always. I can understand that a lot of people love spinning from fleece, and it is cheaper than spinning from top, but it's not. I would rather pay, £8 to £12 for something that's been really well prepared, rather than have to do all that prep myself. So, how I'm prepping it is, you see the curly bits? I'm just sort of starting at one end and just sort of untwisting them, and then trying to sort of pry them apart. Fluffing them up, sort of opening up the locks, maybe, might be the proper way to describe it. I'm not entirely sure. So it just sort of fluffs it up, and then I'm going to, sort of be able to sort of spin from that sort of like prepared sort of fleece. I think I've got the vast majority of the lanolin out. I still probably want to spin it fairly soon, so it will be the next thing on the wheel after the Hilltop Cloud. So hopefully by the next time I see you, I'll have at least started it. Not entirely sure there's still 100 grams there, because it was 100 grams by weight when it was dirty, so where they're sort of losing some of that will lose some of the weight up. I'm not sure how I'm going to spin it. I was debating spinning it reasonably bulky in order to possibly have, but there is only 100 grams in there, so I'm not entirely sure how much I will get from it. But I'm not that sort of a spinner either, and this is the thing. This is the thing with spinning. People are a bit sort of snobby about it sometimes. People are like, oh, well, you're not a proper spinner if you don't spin from this. People are like, oh, well, you're not a proper spinner if you don't sample. You know, you don't spin and go, I am aiming for a 4-ply yarn. And for me, that's not the fun of it. Hand spun for me isn't commercial yarn. If I want to create a yarn to knit a, sorry, I'm waiting for Reese to come back. So if I want to create a yarn to knit, if I want a 4-ply yarn to knit a jumper, I will go and buy one. If I want to spin a yarn, I will spin a yarn and then find a jumper to match. You know, I won't. You know, if I want something specific, then commercial is there. That is a valid option and always a valid option. If I want something, you know, if I want something unique, then I would much rather sort of spin it. So yeah, so that's that. It gets me in a huff sometimes. Oh, don't get me started on spindles as well. We went to a store that I bought spindles from, and I love my spindle from there. It is in fact the only spindle I own, so I might as well just say who it is. It was Wildcraft Fibers, and I love my spindle from them. But it is light and it is a top whirl, and we were talking about the spindles, me and Angie and Michelle. I think Michelle was there as well. Yeah, we were talking about spindles, and Angie was, well, what spindle would you recommend for a beginner? And I said, well, the one you've got is good, and you can spin on practically everything. And I said, the thing that people, and the bloke sort of said, oh, well, yeah, but beginners, you have to start on a low whirl heavy spindle. Well, okay, I sort of get it, but I had a low whirl heavy spindle, and that did not work for me. And as soon as I could get rid of it and go onto my wheel, I did. My original spindle, I don't have that anymore. My mother has that for teaching kids at school about how to spin as a Viking. She's amazing on it as well. She's such a jammy sod. She just picked it up, and the traditional sort of method of teaching people how to spin is called park and draft. So you spin your spindle, you let some twist build up into your fibre, you stop, back between your knee, you pull it out and let the twist travel up into it. Park and draft. My mother spins on the fly, which is like supposed to be sort of an advanced technique, and I said this to her. I said, oh yeah, no, it's park and draft when I was showing her something on my spindle. Oh no, I've always twirled it and then plied as I go. You know, she's amazing at it. I wish that in a way it was something that she could get into, because then I could have all the pretty hand-spun yarns. Because she's not a knitter. She knitted my dad a little blue scarf once and then said never again. Which is fair enough. She used to do a lot of sewing. She was a very good sewer, and she sewed me and my sister loads of clothes when we were little. But yeah, so not a real spinner. Don't enjoy working from raw fleece. That's fine. I'm happy to carrying on with me and doing what I like. So the next section is shiny. Shiny, shiny, shiny. And I'm still not sure whether shiny should have an E in it. I keep going backwards and forwards between it, so if it shouldn't, please ignore this. And I will change it next time. I'll actually Google it. Should have Googled it before I started, but you know, flying by the seat of my pants. So, all shiny. Nice things. So, my first nice things that I said, ooh, so good, we're having it twice. My first all shiny is my blocking mats, which are going to be for the sock blockers if the other ones pass muster. If not, they will become blocking mats. These are Chad Valley ones because the offer is on Chad Valley ones. The packaging hilariously calls them a parachute. Tumbler mats. But the thing at the bottom says large multicoloured play parachute, perfect for fun and educational cooperative games. No, really not. Proofread, Chad Valley. But yeah, they're great. I have a set of these from before. Me and my sister got some when they were on offer. I think they were buy one get one free. She got me some for my birthday present, and Probably still at my mother's actually, but there you go. So yeah, those were 2 for £15, or so that works out £7.50 each. I could have bought 2 sets, but I thought I will buy my niece her Christmas present. She's cute, some little sort of wooden push-along animals, because she'll be nearly a year old, and it said from 1 year up. So I bought those. And then that's one Christmas present out of the way, because there is literally only 2 paydays left before Christmas. There is a payday at the end of this month, October, and then there is November's, which is always eaten up by pre-Christmas activities and meals at work and stuff like that. So I'm trying to sort of get a couple sorted this month. It is my mother's birthday in November, so I need to get her something as well. Don't know what though, but something. But anyway, I still managed to treat me this month. I bought part of my order from Darren Moore's arrived this morning. West Yorkshire Spinners. This is part of their signature 4-ply range. In the birds, this is Bullfinch with the reds and the greys. I really, really like this. And the colourway, I'm not entirely sure what the colourway is, whether the colourway is 861 or whether the colourway is 0088. It's one of the two, but it is Bullfinch. It is 400 metres to 437 yards, 75% wool, 25% nylon. So this is going to be socks. And I couldn't decide between that and, because I like the reds, I've got a lot of reds in my knitting stash, and the ubiquitous blue tit. So I bought both because, well, they said if you sign up to our newsletter, have a 10% off voucher, so it's practically paid for itself, right? No, possibly not, but still. But this is the blue tit colourway, which is very famous from the Bakery Bears with Dan Jones, and the fact that nobody in the UK can say the word blue tit without giggling, because it's so funny. My mother has blue tits that come to her bird feeders, but she won't wear socks, so that's not a present opportunity. The colourway number for this one is either 818 or 0613. Could be 06. There are 3 numbers right on the back of this ball band that you can't see because the light's shining on them. But it says 06 818 0163. And then the Bullfinch says, so it's not 06 because the Bullfinch says 06 861 0088. But yeah, so it's either one of those 2 numbers. But these 2 are going to become some nice socks for me. Eventually, when I get around to them. I've got so much sock yarn that I would like to knit, but haven't yet got round to. So I don't know why I keep buying more, but I do. But yeah, so hopefully sometime in the new year. It'd be nice to knit those and take those when I go to Canada. I've ordered some new needles from Darren Moore's, so I'm going to try those out. They're quite unique, so I'm going to show you them next week. Hopefully next fortnight, next 2 weeks. Because, as I say, I cannot record every week. That would just be way too much for me. I have too many of other people's blogs to watch to record every 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm getting more and more anxious that Reese is going to be coming home. So I'm going to sort of wind it up now. I'm aware I probably talk too fast and probably too little because it's only 39 minutes and my videos are normally a lot longer than that. What's coming up? I have got a new shawl to cast on, the one that I'm designing for my sister-in-law for Christmas. I'm hoping it's really geeky and quite nerdy, but all the best things are, aren't they? So I'm hoping to show you that next time I record, because I should have started. By then, I'm hoping on a finished icon. And then I've got to go back to, I've got Annalise's blanket that I showed you in the very first episode, I think I got that, to sort of work on, because her birthday is at the end of January, so that's coming up fairly quick. And then I don't think I've got a lot else. I've got stuff I should be working on and stuff I hope to work on. But we'll see how time sort of goes, because everything is coming up just so sort of fast, and packing for when we get to Canada in February to do, and stuff clothes to go for that. I'm sort of really short on clothes at the moment. I've got enough to maybe last me the work week and then that's it. And even then, not particularly well. I've got some stripy trousers and they're lovely. I love the stripy jeans, but then I end up wearing stripy tops to them and I just look like the striped lady. Or blue. They're sort of a very similar blue to this jacket, which is my old Leavers hoodie from 2011, because that's one of the few jumpers that sort of kind of fits me anymore, even though it's really big. But anyway, I'm just slobbing around the house today, so who cares? Should be honoured. I'm still in my clothes, not back in my pyjamas. So lots coming up, lots to do. I am going to go sign off now, and I just want to say thank you ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. It's always lovely to hear from anybody who is a watcher. Please feel free to click subscribe, and then you'll automatically be informed of when my show goes up. There should be show notes in the description that links to my blog, craftylittlerat.blogspot.co.uk, which I should have mentioned at the start really, but never mind. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very good 2 weeks. Let me know what you're up to. Ta-ra!